Hi, I'm Nathan Nybert, Network Administrator here at Eaton County, Michigan. I'm the lead on the MCT program for police, fire, and EMS. We support approximately 2,000 devices at a variety of locations. The consumer-grade tablets we had before were vastly underpowered, and I knew when we were going to switch to something new, we had to have something that was going to last us.
Using the Toughpads has been wonderful. They have been such an upgrade from where we were with our old technology, and they've been wonderful to use. The biggest difference is the reliability of it. Anything we do with those, they work. There's never any downtime, which we had a lot of that before, and so now it's been just wonderful.
What we're using the Toughpad for is primarily a program called Visual MCT, which is our police, fire, EMS program. These are all the units available, and then if you click on a unit, you can see what that unit is doing right this moment. It brings up and tells you. They also have a map. Maps are critical. Without maps, people don't know where to go. As everything changes and staff changes, we constantly see new people, as in officers, that aren't from this area. So while people like myself that grew up here, we know the roads extremely well, they don't. Well, because of this, we can give them the power to know the streets.
We're way more efficient with the Toughpad because we are now able to do all of our crash reports right there in the car on the Toughpad, which saves an enormous amount of paperwork time that our officers would have to come back to the office and do them by hand.
If we can keep officers in the car, all that's going to do is help the public and the taxpayers.
You know, I think the best part of it is just data retrieval. If you have, and we use that mostly in terms of repeat patients. If you have a patient that you see 3 or 4 times a month, the tablets give us the ability to pull up the records from their last transport so that we're not repetitively entering the same data. And the other extension of that is, if I've transported you several times in the past, or our agency has, I've never been exposed to you, but I find you in a position where you can't communicate with me, I have the ability to pull up that old file and at least know, oh, well, when we saw you 6 months ago, you were diabetic, you had coronary artery disease, a history of strokes, and it gives us a starting point and fills in some gaps.
We had a scene where we were installing some of the tablets into a full tanker fire truck. And when I handed the tablet to the installer, he did not have a hold of it and it fell, hit all 3 steps and then onto the ground. So if you can imagine, fire trucks aren't small, it tumbled. Flipped it over, turned it on, not a scratch on it, good to go. That's what you get when you spend a little extra to get the Toughpad.
One of the things that I've noticed with the Toughpad is the durability, the ruggedness around this. There has been times where I've taken it out of the car when it's been sprinkling or raining, which, you know, I'm not necessarily as concerned of taking it from point A to B if it's sprinkling out, opposed to some of the previous things that we've had to carry. So the durability of this is you can feel it, how sturdy this is.
The biggest key is here is information. I get my information on the Toughpad instantly. It is so reliable that I get it right now. Compared to what we used to have, it's just light years ahead of what we used to have.
We went with the Intel chip because it's fast, it's speedy. I get complaints all the time about our previous system that just was not fast. Anything you did was slow. And these guys don't have time, and when you're in the heat of the moment trying to get to a scene or get to a fire or whatever it might be, to wait on your computer. The computer is sometimes an afterthought. So that being said, I can't be the holdup with what we provide them. The Intel chip solves that problem.
It has never not functioned for me. Every time I've ever needed it, it's functioned and performed 100% of the time.
It also has some of the best battery life you'll find on a tablet. Better yet, the battery is replaceable. So you can pop the battery out, put a new one in, and continue on either day if you don't have some kind of AC power.
To any other law enforcement agency that's looking at technology, they need to look at that Toughpad because it works 24/7. The reliability is unmatched. It will work whenever you need it to.
I would tell any colleagues to look at a Panasonic Toughpad or Toughbook. They last, they're built to last, and they do exactly what we wanted to do with them.
Panasonic.